Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. I hope your week was sweet. The beginning of Hannuka, light and bright. Getting ready for Shabbat. Shabbat Hannuka, the power and force of Shabbat coming together with the power and force of Hannuka, making it a very, very special Shabbat. It's also Parshat Mikeitz. And we learn Mikeitz Shenatayim Yamim, right? That the beginning of this week's Torah portion, Yosef's time in prison is coming to an end. We learned at the end of last week's Torah portion that Yosef gets sold by his brothers, sold to merchants, gets brought down to Egypt, sold as a servant. As a result of certain things that happen, he gets put into prison, and now his time is coming to an end in prison, and everything's going to change. So many things to say about this, but we'll focus on one idea connected to the Parsha and also connected to Hannuka. That Yosef's in prison. He's mamish, prison back then probably we learned like a dungeon, like a pit, like a basement, a dark, dungy, kind of place. And Yosef's in there, and he's not told how long he's going to be in there. He's there. Who knows how long it's going to be? Right? You can be in such a low place, in such a hard place. You have no idea how long it's going to be. How long is he going to last there? When is he going to be freed? Right? You can come to a place of such lacking hope that things will ever change. But the Mikeitz comes. Right? And we learn in Chassidut and Kabbalah that there is an end, that the end does eventually come. And we see as soon as Yosef's time comes to an end in prison, everything changes, everything goes up. Right? He goes to meet Paro. He's asked to interpret Paro's dreams. He interprets him in a way that Paro finds favorable, and he's made into the second in command in all of Egypt. Right? Within moments, seemingly, his whole life shifts from the darkest of darkest nights to like the top of the top. Right? And this idea is exemplified so powerfully in Hannuka. Right? Hannuka, if you look at the whole year, Hannuka is the only holiday that comes towards the end of the month, the Sof HaChodesh. Right? Most of our holidays, and for sure our most powerful holidays, fall on the brightest time that the moon is shining. Right? It falls on the full moon. Right? Hannuka, the only holiday at the end of the month when the moon is barely even visible anymore. Another few days and you can't even see it. Right? We also learned that this month Kislev, right, every month of the Hebrew calendar is associated with the letter of the Hebrew alphabet. This month is the Samech, right, is the Samech, which is the one letter which is like a circle. And Reb Shlomo Karlbach teaches so beautifully what's so powerful about a Samech, and what is its connection to Hannuka, to this month, and specifically to this Parsha, this Torah portion which always falls out, which we always read during Hannuka. Right, that a samach, you can go on one level, on one edge, on one side, on the circle. You go down, you're down. You have no idea. You feel like you're going to be falling forever, but eventually you hit the bottom. You hit an end to it, and as soon as you hit the end, what happens? Boom! You come right back up. Everything changes. Right? That's the power of Hannuka. It's dafka during the darkest part of the year. It's also dafka, the one holiday that the mitzvah specifically at nighttime. Right? Other holidays have certain things that we do at nighttime, but the ikar, the essential mitzvah, is either any time or during the day. Hannuka essentially has to be nighttime. Right? We light our Hannuka neirot, the Hannuka candles, right? Dafka when it's dafka when it's night out, right? When there's no light anymore in the sky. Right? Dafka when it's the darkest part of the entire year. So the darkness of the darkest time of the year, right? We sit there and we light lights. Right? It's the essential message of the Jews to be Or LaGoyim. Right? Even when everything looks like there's no more hope, everything is lost, how could it ever change? How could it ever be better? Boom. Right? A little bit of light starts to shine. We start with the first night, one candle. The second night, a second candle. The third night, a third candle. But to show that little by little, right, things are going to change, and things can change, and things will change. Right? We've seen it in the past, in our history. The history of our people, the history of our own lives, hopefully we've seen it, right, which gives us, strength and faith to know that in the future, whenever we hit rough times, as individuals, as a people, as a world, right, that things will change again. Right? This is the essential message of Hannuka, the essential message of the beginning of this week's Torah portion. It's the essential message of the Jewish people. Right? It's a message that we need to bring to the entire world. right? That things can get better, things need to get better, things will get better, right? But as we learned last week, right, only through our own hands, through our own actions, right? We learned a very beautiful teaching from Reb Tzvi Meir that Hannuka is the last of all the holidays. It's the last holiday, right? There's holidays that are from the Torah, and then there's 2 holidays that are from the Rabbanim, right? Purim and Hannuka. Hanukah was the last holiday to be set in place in the Hebrew calendar, right? To show us that its light is so powerful. It's not only coming at the end of the month and the end of the night, or when the night starts, and right, it's coming at, when everything feels like it's at its end. It's the last of the holidays to be set into place before the Jews go through their long, difficult galut, the exile, right? Which means that its light, its power, its force is strong enough to give the Jews the koach, the strength to go through the long exile. And it's like fuel for the road, so to speak. And even though we're back in our land, back in Eretz Yisrael, Baruch Hashem, we're still not there. We still have things to fix, especially on a spiritual level, but even still on a physical level. Right? But the power of Hanukah is there, dafka, for this. It's there to give us that ability to keep going, right? Even through the exile, the darkest nights of the exile, right? So Reb Tzvi Meir also teaches us that the last of the prophets, right, gave the last of the prophecies right on the hours before Hanukah started, the 24th of Kislev, on Erev Hanukah, right? To give us, to live in a world without prophecy, without, real divine intervention is a very difficult thing. But that last prophecy gave us the strength, gave us the fuel again, so to speak, right, to go on until all that incredible illumination returns to the world. And through our illuminating the small lights of Hanukah, our small candles, we're part of this beautiful national and global and universal and historical process of illuminating the entire world. So when we sit with our candles tonight, the Hanukah candles and the Shabbat candles, know that our adding these lights to the world is a tremendous thing, is an incredible thing, is a very, very large, powerful, impactful thing, right? And it's part of a process, right? Each light on its own, adding more and more light to the entire world. B'ezrat Hashem, we should add our light, see other people add their lights, and together transform this world to the light-filled world that it's always been meant to be. B'ezrat Hashem, we should see it in our days. Chanukah Sameach, Shabbat Shalom, sending lots of love and blessing from the land of Israel. Shabbat Shalom.